Serena Ward, please save me. I know I was wrong. Make them take me back. Jasper Cole is on his knees on the granite steps of Ward Talent, the new glass tower that carries Serena's name in small letters by the revolving door. Rain beads on his hair. His shirt is wrinkled and half untucked. Stubble shadows his jaw like dirt that will not wash off. He clamps both hands around Serena's heel as if her shoe is the last solid thing in a sinking world. Flashbulbs pop. Reporters shove microphones between security arms. Serena, are you going to help him? Jasper, is it true you got dropped by every brand? Did you really fire Serena in public? Serena does not flinch. She slides her foot back with one smooth motion, then lets the guard close the gap. Her gaze lifts, cool and level, and the crowd falls into a hungry hush. Beside her stands Ethan Thorne in a charcoal coat, hair neat, posture calm, the kind of calm that comes from winning. A fresh headline still clings to him, International Best Actor, a trophy in his hand at dawn, a speech that made hardened critics blink. Serena hooks her arm through his, not to show off, but to anchor the moment in reality. Jasper looks up at her with wet eyes, face raw from nights without sleep. Serena, I swear, I will listen this time. I will do everything you say. I will be grateful. I will be good. Serena tilts her head, polite like a hostess who does not recognize a stranger at her door. Then she smiles, small and clean. Sir. She says, voice clear enough for the cameras. Do we know each other? It lands like a slap. Jasper's breath catches. In the reflection of the lobby glass he sees himself, a man who used to glide past fans with sunglasses and security, now a wreck on wet stone. He tries to laugh it off, tries to turn the moment into a performance. Come on. He says, voice too loud. You are playing with me, Serena, you always do this. Serena's smile does not change. I do not play with strangers. She replies. The reporter line surges again. Serena, did you really spend your own money to launch him? Jasper, are you broke? A microphone thrusts toward Serena's face. She angles her chin just enough for the camera to catch her profile, composed, unbothered. Next question. She says. Jasper's eyes dart to Ethan, searching for weakness, for rivalry, for anything he can exploit. Ethan gives him none. Ethan only says. Stand up. Jasper bristles. Who are you to order me around? Ethan leans closer, voice low, meant only for Jasper. I am the man she chose to build. Ethan says. You are the mistake she corrected. Jasper's stomach drops. He realizes, with a cold twist, that this is not a breakup he can fix with flowers or tears. This is a business decision Serena already executed. A ripple runs through the reporters, then the questions explode again. Jasper goes still. His mouth opens. Nothing comes out. In his head he hears another night, another crowd, another flash of light. 6 months ago the cameras love him. They love his grin. They love his sharp jaw and effortless charm. They chant his name outside a hotel ballroom as he lifts a glass. And Serena stands 2 steps behind him, not visible to the audience, holding the entire empire together with a clipboard and a ruthless memory. Jasper squeezes his eyes shut as if he can rewind time by force. Serena does not move. She does not bend. She does not offer a hand. Ethan watches Jasper the way a lion watches a sick animal, not with pity, but with a quiet warning. A reporter shouts. Serena, are you dating Ethan Thorne now? Ethan answers before Serena can. No. He says, firm and flat. She is my agent. She is the reason I am standing here. Serena gives him a glance, half approval, half amusement. She turns back to the crowd. Please clear the entrance. She says. We have work to do. Security pushes forward. Jasper clings harder, desperate. Serena, please, please, I am begging you. She looks down at his hands on the leather of her shoe. Her voice stays gentle. Let go. Jasper does not. Ethan steps closer. His shadow falls over Jasper. You heard her. Ethan says. Let go. Jasper looks up, anger flashing through the panic for one heartbeat. He is still Jasper Cole, still a man who used to command sets and silence rooms. Then the anger collapses into fear. He lets go. Serena walks through the revolving door without looking back. Ethan stays half a second longer, eyes locked on Jasper. If you come near her again, Ethan says. You will regret it. The doors swallow them. The cameras keep firing. Jasper remains on the steps, soaked, shaking, and for the first time since his rise, he has no one left to call. 6 months earlier, Jasper is nobody. He sleeps on a friend's couch in a cramped apartment that smells like instant noodles and old sweat. He auditions for roles that do not pay enough to buy groceries. He smiles at casting assistants who will not remember his name. Serena hears his tape in the back room of a talent office that does not even put her name on the door. She is 28, already called a killer, already known for turning raw talent into bankable legend. People say she is too controlling. People say she does not smile. People say she makes careers and breaks egos with the same hand. Serena watches Jasper on screen, a cheap self-tape, harsh lighting, a torn curtain as a backdrop. His voice is untrained, but his eyes are alive. He has a hunger that looks like honesty. She rewinds the tape 3 times. Then she sells her condo. She sells it fast, cash price, no tears, because she does not believe in safety. She believes in leverage. She calls every contact she has built in 10 years, and she spends favors like bullets. Jasper does not see most of it. He does not see Serena in a bank office, signing away her last safety net, jaw tight as the clerk asks if she is sure. He does not see her standing in a parking lot at midnight, arguing with a union rep because the set wants to cut his stunt insurance. He does not see her in a cheap diner at 3 in the morning, rewriting his interview answers so he sounds confident without sounding arrogant. He only sees the results. A call that opens a door. A meeting that turns into an offer. A scandal that dies before it is born. When Jasper's first publicist quits, overwhelmed, Serena becomes his publicist too. When his assistant makes a mistake, Serena covers it. When a reporter corners Jasper with a question about a rumor, Serena steps in front of the camera and takes the heat with a smile. She learns his tells, his moods, his weaknesses. She learns that he hates silence because it reminds him he is replaceable. So she fills his calendar until he can barely breathe. Trust me. She tells him. The only way to stay is to keep moving. Jasper trusts her because he has to. He is terrified of falling back into nothing. And for a while, that fear keeps him humble. One call gets Jasper into a studio meeting. Another call gets him a trainer, a dialect coach, a stylist who knows how to turn thrift store clothes into a story. Serena works 14-hour days, then 19. She eats protein bars and black coffee. She sleeps with her phone on her chest. When a director wants a scandalous rumor to boost interest, Serena blocks it. When a producer wants Jasper to smile more and think less, Serena says. He acts. He is not a mascot. When tabloids circle, Serena lets them bite her instead. Serena Ward is sleeping her way up. A blogger writes. Serena does not respond. She signs Jasper to a 3-picture deal. The first film is an action thriller. Jasper plays the underdog. He bleeds, he sweats, he stares down the camera like it owes him money. The movie explodes. Fans call him the new it boy. Brands chase him. Talk shows fight for his time. At the premiere, Jasper walks the red carpet in a suit Serena picked, teeth white, eyes shining. He turns at the end, looks for Serena the way a child looks for a parent after a school play. She stands behind the velvet rope with the staff, headset on, clipboard in hand. He points at her and tells the crowd. That is my agent. She is the one who made this happen. Serena feels nothing. Compliments are currency, not comfort. She nods once and moves on to the next task. Then Lila appears. Lila is a social media queen with 1 million followers and a laugh like sugar. She slides into Jasper's orbit at an after party. She wears a dress that photographs like a weapon. She calls Serena, boss lady, with a smile that never reaches her eyes. Lila whispers to Jasper when Serena turns away. She treats you like a project. Lila says. Not like a man. Jasper laughs it off at first. He is loyal then. He is still scared of losing Serena. But fame is a drug of its own. Jasper starts to believe he is the engine, not the product. He starts to ask for more freedom, more parties, more friends Serena does not vet. Serena says. Freedom is earned. You are not there yet. Lila leans in, lips near Jasper's ear. See. She murmurs. Control freak. She is old-fashioned. She is holding you back. Jasper is 26. He wants to feel powerful. At the awards celebration, the ballroom is gold and noise. Executives toast. Cameras roam. Serena stands by the wall, scanning the room, already thinking about the next contract. Jasper climbs the small stage with a microphone. He is drunk on applause. Tonight. Jasper says. I want to thank the people who believed in me. He pauses. Then his eyes slide to Serena. The room quiets, curious. He smiles, sharp and cold. And I want to say something else. Jasper says. Serena Ward, your services are no longer needed. It is a joke tone, a crowd tone, but the words are real. The room gasps. Serena feels the air shift. 100 eyes turn to her like knives. Jasper keeps going, backed by Lila's hand on his shoulder. You used to be useful. He says. Now you are in my way. Pack your things, we are done. Serena does not blink. She walks forward, takes the microphone from his hand, and hands it back to the host. She looks up at Jasper. Her voice is calm enough to freeze water. Understood. She says. Good luck. She leaves the ballroom without running. Without crying. Without a scene. Behind her, Lila laughs, and Jasper lets the laugh feed his pride. The next morning, Serena finds the locks changed on her office. The smear campaign is not an accident. It is a plan. A gossip site publishes a blurred photo of Serena leaving a hotel, captioned with lies. Another site hints she blackmails clients. A third claims she steals money, that she forces young actors into contracts like cages. Jasper's new team amplifies it, pretending to be shocked. Lila goes live, eyes glossy, voice sweet. I love Jasper. She says to her followers. I just want him safe. He was trapped by someone who did not respect boundaries. I cannot say more, but I am proud he finally stood up for himself. Comments flood in. Team Jasper. Free him. Serena is cancelled by strangers who have never met her. Her phone fills with threats. Her old address is posted online. One night, Serena returns to her rented room and finds the lock scratched, the door handle loose, like someone tested it. She does not call the police. She does not post a statement. She changes apartments, changes numbers, and keeps working. Because she knows something the internet does not. Noise is temporary. Contracts are permanent. Her client list is hacked. Her contacts are leaked. Rumors flood the internet. Serena is called a parasite. A jealous manager. A woman who wanted credit for a man's talent. Jasper posts a smiling selfie with Lila and a caption that reads, finally free. Serena reads it once. Then she deletes his number. Serena has no company, no salary, and a reputation that burns. Her old boss does not answer her calls. People she helped for years suddenly forget her name. She rents a small office on the 20th floor of a building that still smells like fresh paint. She buys a second-hand desk. She hangs no pictures. On the first day, she writes 2 rules on a whiteboard. Rule 1: never beg. Rule 2: never forget. She files papers for a new agency, Ward Talent. Then she looks for a client. Most actors avoid her. They see the headlines. They hear whispers. She is toxic. They say. She will ruin you. Serena listens, expression blank, and keeps walking. Serena's old boss, Martin Hale, calls her on day 3. His voice is smooth, practiced, the voice of a man who believes charm is power. Serena. He says. You are making noise. People are asking questions. You should come back and apologize. Jasper is still a client of this firm, and you know how this works. Serena holds the phone away from her ear for a second, letting herself breathe. Then she brings it back. I know exactly how it works. She says. You bet on him. You thought he would keep winning. You thought I was a tool. Martin chuckles. Do not be emotional. Serena smiles, because the word lands wrong. Emotional is what men call women when the women are right. I am not emotional. She says. I am expensive, and you cannot afford me anymore. Martin's tone sharpens. You are alone. You have no backers. You will crawl back in a month. Serena ends the call without goodbye. That afternoon, she walks into a studio lobby for a meeting she should not be allowed to attend. The receptionist tries to stop her. Serena says one name, quiet and precise. The receptionist's face changes. The phone rings. Doors open. Inside, a producer who once ignored Serena looks up and forces a grin. Serena Ward. He says. I heard things, but I also heard you are signing someone new. Serena slides Ethan's headshot across the table. You have a problem. She says. Your film is real, but your lead is not. You need someone who can carry silence. Someone audiences will believe even when he says nothing. The producer studies the photo, then the eyes in it, and for the first time Serena sees interest, not pity. Bring him in. He says. Serena walks out with a meeting time and a promise. In the elevator, Ethan looks at her. You did that on purpose. He says. You wanted your old boss to hear about it. Serena keeps her gaze on the closing doors. I want everyone to hear about it. She says. I am not hiding anymore. In a small theater on a Tuesday night, she sits in the back row and watches a play with 15 people in the audience. A man on stage does not look like a star. His suit is plain. His hair is slightly too long. His face is tired. But his acting is a knife. Every line cuts. Every pause speaks. His name is Ethan Thorne. After the curtain call, Serena waits by the side exit. She does not smile. She does not introduce herself with flattery. Ethan Thorne, she says when he steps out. You are wasting your time here. Ethan stops, surprised, then wary. I do not know you. He says. Serena holds out a card. White. Simple. Just her name and number. You will. She says. I can get you into films that matter, and I can get you paid what you deserve. Or you can keep bleeding on stage for rent money. Ethan studies her, then the card. He has been promised miracles before. They never arrive. Why would you help me? He asks. Serena does not hesitate. Because you can act. She says. And because I need a win that no one can take from me. Ethan laughs once, short. At least you are honest. He says. He calls her the next morning. Serena moves like a storm. She sends Ethan's reel to directors who hate shallow fame. She pitches him as the antidote to glossy nonsense. She takes meetings in rooms that used to lock her out. When a gatekeeper smirks and mentions Jasper, Serena smiles back. Yes. She says. I built him, now I am building someone better. She gets Ethan a role in a prestige film that shoots in the desert. It is a hard script, no explosions, no easy tears. Ethan delivers a performance that makes the crew silent. Serena watches playback with her arms crossed, face unreadable, and feels something like satisfaction. Then the festival circuit begins. Photos. Reviews. Rumors. Ethan is called a revelation. He wins a major award. Then another. Meanwhile, Jasper stumbles. At first it is small. A late call time. A missed interview. A sloppy live stream where Lila laughs too loud and Jasper's pupils look too wide. Serena hears about it through old contacts who now whisper to her with fear. Jasper is spiraling. They say. He is burning cash. Serena does not comment. She signs Ethan to a global representation deal. By month 6, Ethan stands on the biggest stage in the industry and holds a gold statue. His voice shakes with emotion, but his eyes find Serena in the front row. She saw me when no one else did. Ethan says into the microphone. Serena Ward, thank you. The camera cuts to Serena. She gives one small nod. The internet goes quiet for a moment. Then the narrative flips. The woman they called toxic is suddenly genius. The agent they mocked is suddenly queen. Serena opens her email and sees invitations, apologies, offers. She deletes most of them. She is too busy building. Jasper hits rock bottom fast, the way a fall always feels faster than a climb. The lawsuit that crushes Jasper does not come from strangers. It comes from the paperwork Serena wrote. Jasper once bragged about how tight his contract was. It is bulletproof. He told Lila, laughing. She cannot touch me now. He never read the clauses. He never understood them. Clause 12 Public conduct. Clause 15 Substance violations. Clause 19 Moral damage. Clause 21 Repayment of advances if the client breaches. Serena insisted on every line. She argued for every comma. She made enemies to protect Jasper from temptation. Now those words turn on him like a trap that finally springs. When the evidence leaks, Serena gets calls from lawyers who used to sneer at her. How did you know? One asks. Serena answers. Because I watched him when he thought no one was looking. She does not celebrate. She simply redirects the questions. Send the settlement terms to his counsel. She says. And copy the studio. A week later, Martin Hale calls again, furious. You are behind this. He hisses. You are killing him. Serena is in a conference room with Ethan, a script open on the table. She does not even lower her voice. I am not killing him. She says. I am letting him experience gravity. Martin slams something in the background. He will drag you down with him. Serena looks at Ethan, then at the city beyond the window. Let him try. She says and ends the call again. Brands drop him first. Quiet statements, polite wording, contracts terminated due to moral clauses. A studio replaces him in a blockbuster. The news leaks and the stock of the film rises. Fans begin to ask questions. A video surfaces from a club bathroom. Jasper is laughing, head tipped back, and a white powder line sits on the counter like a bad punchline. His team calls it fake. They call it a smear. Then another video appears, this time clearer, and the sponsor list disappears overnight. Lila posts a tearful story, talking about betrayal, about how she never knew who Jasper really was. She does not mention the nights she pushed drinks into his hand, or the friends she brought around him, or the way she laughed at his caution. When the heat gets too intense, Lila vanishes. Jasper finds his accounts drained. His credit cards decline. His safe is empty. He goes to his manager. The manager blocks his number. He goes to the agency that once begged Serena to sign him. They close the door in his face. His old company sues him for breach, for damages, for losses. Numbers stack up like tombstones. Jasper sits in a rental apartment with no furniture and watches the news of Ethan Thorne's next project. Ethan is on a magazine cover, looking composed, a man who knows his place in the world. The headline reads, "The New Standard." Jasper throws the magazine at the wall. It slides down and lands face up. The photo stares at him like judgment. He searches online for Serena. Ward Talent is now the hottest agency in the city. Articles call Serena the most feared negotiator in the business. They list her clients. They list Ethan's global endorsements. Jasper thinks of his own contracts, the ones Serena negotiated, the clauses she insisted on, the protections she wrote in. Back then he called her paranoid. Now he realizes she was shielding him from himself. Jasper drives to Serena's building on a night when the rain is cold and the wind cuts. He stands across the street, hood up, watching the lights. He sees Serena and Ethan leave together after midnight, walking side by side, talking quietly. There is no romance in their body language. There is something else. Trust. Jasper's throat tightens. He steps forward, then stops when he sees security, when he sees cameras, when he sees the weight of the world Serena now commands. He turns away because pride still has claws. 2 days later, the court summons arrives. Jasper reads the amount he owes and feels the room tilt. He drinks to numb it, but the numbness does not come. Only panic. Only the echo of Serena's calm voice in the ballroom. Understood. Good luck. Jasper finally understands what those words mean. They mean, you are on your own. Jasper chooses the only thing he has left. Humiliation. He waits outside Ward Talent from morning to night. At first, he tells himself he will talk like an equal, like a star who made a mistake. Then the hours pass and hunger gnaws and the security guards stop looking at him. He becomes part of the scenery. Reporters arrive again when they smell blood. Jasper crouches by the steps, hands shaking, and when he sees Serena's car pull up, he stands too fast and nearly falls. Serena. He runs, then drops to his knees before she even reaches the door. The cameras love it. The world loves a fallen idol. Serena, please. Jasper says, voice cracking. I am sorry. I did not know what I was doing. Lila poisoned me. I was stupid. I was weak. I miss you. I need you. Serena steps out, heels precise on the stone, face flawless, eyes steady. Ethan follows, taller, broader, a quiet wall at her shoulder. Jasper reaches for Serena, but Ethan moves first. Ethan puts himself between them, palm out. Stop. Ethan says. Jasper looks up at Ethan with hatred and shame tangled together. She belongs with me. Jasper spits. I made her famous too. Ethan's expression does not change. You did not make her. Ethan says. She made you. Jasper's lips tremble. He turns back to Serena, desperation pouring out. Serena, I will sign whatever you want. I will take any job. I will do charity. I will disappear for years if you tell me. Just help me survive this. Serena studies him for a long moment. In that silence, Jasper sees the past like a film. Serena sleeping on office carpet with a coat as a blanket. Serena arguing with a producer for his paycheck. Serena standing in front of him when a scandal threatened, taking the hit, smiling at the cameras while her eyes stayed empty. He never thanked her. He never even asked if she was tired. Now he is begging and he expects her to care. Serena finally speaks. Her tone is not cruel. It is not loud. It is indifferent, and that is worse. I represent people who work. Serena says. People who listen, people who respect the team that carries them. Jasper gasps. I can be that. I can change. Serena shakes her head once. I already replaced you. She says. Jasper flinches as if struck. Please. He whispers. Do not do this. You owe me a chance. Ethan's eyes narrow. Serena lifts a hand slightly, a signal, and Ethan relaxes. Then Serena looks down at Jasper as if he is a stranger who wandered into the wrong line. I have launched many careers. She says. I do not remember every failed product. Jasper's face crumples. You called me a product. He sobs. Serena does not deny it. She turns to the doors. Ethan keeps his body between Jasper and Serena until she is inside. Jasper reaches out toward nothing, fingers closing on air. The guards step in. Jasper is dragged back from the steps, still crying, still calling her name. The doors shut. The sound dies. The industry does what it always does. The final hearing happens on a bright morning that feels wrong for an ending. Jasper stands in court in a cheap suit that hangs loose on his thinner frame. His hands are cuffed. The judge reads charges in a voice that does not care about fame. Jasper tries to speak, tries to turn the room with charisma, but his voice wobbles. I can make this right. He says. I can do rehab. I can do service. I can pay it back. I just need time. The judge looks down. You had time. The judge says. You had resources. You chose otherwise. The gavel falls. The sentence is set. The press writes it in minutes. Outside the courthouse, Jasper spots Serena across the street. She is there not to gloat, not to watch him bleed, but to sign a different deal in the building next door. Ethan stands with her, holding a folder, eyes on the exit like a guard. Jasper calls her name once, hoarse. Serena. Serena turns. For a second, Jasper thinks she will finally feel something. Anger. Pain. Mercy. She feels none of it. Her eyes pass over him like light over glass. She gives him one small nod, the kind you give a stranger you do not fear, and then she turns away. Ethan follows. Jasper stands on the curb, mouth open, watching the backs of the two people who now move through the world with purpose. He realizes he is not the main character in their story anymore. He is an old headline. Jasper's case becomes a cautionary article, a trending thread, a joke on late-night television. His lawyers fight, but the evidence is thick. The contracts are sharp. The court is not sentimental. Jasper takes a plea deal that strips him of what little he has left. He pays fines he cannot afford. He serves time he cannot escape. When he is released, he is barred from work in the industry that once worshipped him. He is no longer a star. He is a warning. Lila is spotted months later in a different city, on the arm of a different man, smiling like nothing ever happened. Serena does not look her up. Lila is a symptom, not the disease. Ward talent expands. Serena signs writers, directors, photographers, the people behind the people. She builds a machine that does not depend on a single face. Ethan becomes the heart of that machine, not as a puppet, but as a partner who understands what loyalty costs. At a charity gala, Ethan stands at a podium, tucks crisp, voice steady. Serena Ward took a risk on me when I was invisible. He says. She fought for me like I was worth something. I will spend my life proving she was right. Applause roars through the room. Serena stands near the back, away from the spotlight, hands folded, expression calm. A young assistant beside her whispers. Do you ever regret it, Jasper, I mean? Serena thinks for a moment. She remembers Jasper on the couch, hungry and hopeful. She remembers Jasper on stage, drunk on power, cutting her loose like trash. She remembers Jasper on his knees, clutching her shoe. Her answer is simple. No. She says. Regret is for people who stop building. She turns and walks toward the next meeting, the next contract, the next quiet war. Outside, the city hums, indifferent and bright. And somewhere far from the lights, Jasper hears her name on a screen in a bar and looks away, because even now, she is too high to reach. The best revenge is not destruction. It is absence. It is success so complete that the one who betrayed you becomes a footnote you do not bother to read. Epilogue. Sorry, who are you? 1 year later, Ward Talent hosts a small celebration on the rooftop, not for publicity, but for the people who stay after the cameras leave. The city lights glitter below. Music hums low. Assistants laugh, exhausted and proud. Ethan stands with Serena near the rail, a glass of water in his hand. You know. Ethan says. The world keeps asking if we are something else. Serena arches a brow. Are we? Ethan smiles. We are a team. That is enough for me. Serena watches her staff move around her, efficient, loyal, alive. For the first time in a long time, her shoulders feel lighter. A junior agent approaches, eyes bright. Serena. The agent says. A network wants to do a documentary about your career. They want the title to be, The Woman Who Makes Stars. Serena considers it, then shakes her head. Too small. She says. Stars die. She looks out at the city, at the endless lights, and she hears Jasper's voice from the steps, begging, crying, breaking. Then she hears her own voice, calm as steel. Sir, do we know each other? Serena turns back to her people. Tell them the title. She says. The Maker. She does not need a name that points to any man. She is the one who writes the names.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.